So the sequential, we are going to learn about this section. First, we will learn how to create a new project. And then second, we are going to learn more about comments and operators. What is operators? And then what is variable and how we can convert, or we call it conversion. First, let's create a new project. I hope that you already installed the PyCharm. So let's open the PyCharm. So in the PyCharm, let me close this one. I think my environment will be different with yours because I already opened many projects. Okay. If you want to create a new project, then you can just click new project. And in the left panel, there will be a lot of projects that you can do with PyCharm. The first is pure Python. And then you can develop like web base with Python. This is Django. Fast API, Flash, Google App Engine, and etc. So once you install PyCharm, I think it is useful for any other things that you want to develop in the future. Let's use the pure Python. And this is the location that you can use to save your files. In my case, I will just use the PyCharm has been installed in last year, so I will just use 2022 PyCharm, and then the folder is computer programming 2023, and then I have one project which is Python project. So every of my files, it will be saved in this folder, and then I can click on this part and you can see the Python interpreter. There are two kinds of interpreter. The first is new environment. If you click the new environment, it means you will create a new environment. But as I mentioned to you, please install Anaconda at the first time. It means you already have your interpreter. So you can go to the second one, previously configured interpreter. If you are the first time to use the PyCharm, you need to define where is your interpreter. So you can click this one, and then they will show you where is your interpreter. In this case, they mention the virtual environment. Because we are not using virtual environment, then we can skip. Or we can have the Conda environment. Because you install Anaconda, we can use this one. But I would like to recommend you to use the system interpreter. The system interpreter means the Python that has been installed in your system or in your computer. So I will use this system interpreter. And sometimes you can use like this link. And for me, I will not use this one because it is based on the Python. I will use the Anaconda part. I cannot go to the Python. Oh, maybe because I already have the link before. Okay. So in the previous link, I used the IME Anaconda 3 python.exe. In this link, I have another Python file. So I think I will not use this file. I will just use the existing Python file. So the important thing here is you need to have one Python file for the execution. So if you have this one, then that is enough. The next one that you need to know is this click. Okay. this click button is to create a main.py, or it is the welcome script. I think last time many of you click this one and then you create the main.py. That's also fine. Okay. But I will not do this one because I will not need the main.py at this moment. Okay. So it's up to you. So in my explanation, I just uncheck the create a main.py welcome script. Okay. So if you check, then there will be a main function. So if you check this one, you will see .main.py. Let me uncheck. If I create this one, then there is nothing. I think this will be enough for us as the starting point. Next, in the new project, I would like you to build a directory. Okay. Create a new directory. So I will teach you how to create a directory. You can go to the project name, which is Python project in my case. In your case, you can create your own name. You can right click and then you can see new, and you can see many options here. Okay. You can see file, new scratch file, directory, or Python package. So if it is a directory, it means just a general place to save files. You can save Python files, you can save text file, you can save Word file, and any files. But if you want to create a special Python file, you may need this Python package. So at this moment, let's just use directory. In this case, I will recommend you to create name chapter 2. Okay, so because now we are in the week 2, yeah, you can define chapter 2 or week 2, it's up to you. Let me just use chapter 2. So I can make the name chapter 2, yeah, chapter 2 is up to you. And then I can press enter. After you press enter, you will see that there is a new directory, chapter 2. Okay. After you have that directory, you can create any file. Okay. As I mentioned to you, in the directory, you can create Python file, you can create text file, you can create HTML file, etc. So let's create a Python file and let's put the name practice01. So here in the chapter 02, you can do right click. Okay. And then there is a new, and let's create Python file. You can see there are many files: Jupyter Notebook, HTML file, style sheet, JavaScript, TypeScript, and etc. So I will just create Python file. And the Python file name is practice01. Actually, you can create any file name. So if I write the practice01, then it will show one new file, practice01.py. So for Python, the source code is conventionally stored in a file name with the .py suffix. So if the file name is practice01, then the full file name will be practice01.py. Now you can write the code inside of the editor. So you can write the code here. Okay. Print. It's up to you. Welcome to PyCharm, for example. Okay. Now, after you have this, run the Python file. So how can we run this file? There are several ways to run the file. There are three ways to run the Python file. The first is to click Shift plus F10, or you can click Control plus Shift plus F10. Okay, so for me, let me try Shift F10. Oh, nothing. Control Shift F10. Oh, nothing as well. If you cannot do that one, you can click the current file in the top right. So in the top right here, you can see that now there is no color. It means there is a problem. Okay, so you need to make it on in order to run your file. Okay, if you want to use this one. And the other way to run the file is right click on the Python file and just run practice01. So in this file, so you can go to the left panel. You can see the practice01.py. You can right click and then you can see run practice01. So I can run, and if you run it, then you will see the result. So the result now is welcome to PyCharm. So it is the same with the text that I wrote in the section. So if you can do this one, then everything is clear. Okay. Any problems with this one? Okay. So the next is about comments. Okay. In the first part of the Python that we learned last time, we learned about comments. So comments in Python, it starts with the sharp sign. Okay. So for example, this is a Python file written by Bernardo and then spring semester 2023. So if everything is in the sharp, then it will be the comments. And as you know, this is a single line comment. So one line should start with the sharp. One line start with sharp. One line start with sharp. And you can write anywhere. It means if I write this one, okay, I can write here. This is a print statement. Okay, so you can print in the at the end of the statement or in the beginning of the statement like this. There can be multiple lines of comments. So multiple lines of comments means you can write in multiple lines and you don't need to use the sharps. You can use the double quote 3 times. So for example, this one, okay. Okay, so you can have double quote for 3 times, and then you will finish with the double quote for 3 times. And everything in between these 3 double quotes, it will be a multiple line comments. So they will not execute in the Python. And there's another thing that you can understand. You can print multiple lines with these 3 double quotes. So for example, I have 3 lines of statements. Hello world in the Python computer programming. So I can run, and the result is hello world. This is the first line. In the Python, it is the second line, and computer programming, this is the third line. So everything in between the 3 double quotes and ended by 3 double quotes, it can be in the many lines. Okay. So that's about comments. Next, we are going to learn about the operators. What is operators? We will learn about the mathematical operations and some rules. Before that one, we need to learn about the objects in Python. So object related language, we call it the object-oriented language. And Python is an object-oriented language, and classes form the basis for all data types. We can learn later about some classes like int, integer, float, it is the floating point values, str, it is for character strings, and bool, it is for Boolean values. This is example. int means the integer, and integer is any real number, any natural number. 20, 38, 105, 2023, or some negative value, -4, -90. So all numbers without comma, all numbers without decimal, it is the integer. Float, floating point values. For example, 36.5, 2.5, 3,4444444, or 2.75. Because this is float. Strings, str. So every character, for example, Huff Yongin, we call this is string. Seoul campus, we call this is string. This is also string. Why? Why it is string? You can see it is numbers. If it is with comma, then it should be float. But why it is string? Anybody can answer? Yeah. Yes. Sorry. It is because it between the double quote. Okay. Because there is the double quote here and double quote here. Everything in between the double quote, it will be considered as string. Okay. Boolean. What is Boolean? It has two values, true and false. Okay. So when we have the mathematical basic operators, we will learn those operators. Plus, it is the addition, minus subtraction, star multiplication, 1 slash is division, double slash is integer division, percent it is modulus or remainder, and 2 stars it is exponent. So note all the operators work for numerical values, but we can use plus to combine strings. So we will learn later. Now let's do the simple calculator with integers. You know the integers are the natural number, any numbers without comma. 2 plus 3, then of course the result is 5. 7 minus 4, it is 3. 3 multiplied by 5, 15. 5 divided by 2, it is 2.5. 5 divided by 2, it is 2.5. Okay, let's see later. 5 modulus 2. 5 star 2. What does it mean? Let's see. I will copy and paste this code and then I will put it here. Okay, maybe I need to change. So now you can see in my screen there is a red line. Can you see this one? So if there is a red line like this, and if you can see like this, so it means your file is not compiled. Okay. So if your file is not compiled, means you cannot run your file. Let's see, I want to run it. So there is an error message. This is invalid character. Okay. So I guess this is just because of the font problem. I can just delete this one and then I can change with the minus in the Python, in the PyCharm. Because what I use in the PowerPoint, the font will be different with the PyCharm. Okay. So some of the font might be problem. So if I use this one, then I will run. Okay. What is the result? 2 plus 3, it is 5. 7 minus 4, it is 3. 3 multiplied by 5, 15. 5 divided by 2, 2.5. 5 slash 2. The result is 2. Why? By the definition, it is integer division. What is integer? Integer is a natural number, any number without comma. So they will find the nearest integer. Not the nearest integer, actually the integer itself. For example, I want to change this to let's say 15 divided by 11. The result is 1. Okay. Maybe you can see that from the calculator, the result will be like 1, comma, blah, 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 blah. So they will just put the integer value, which is 1. 5 remainder 2. So it means this is the remaining value. 5 divided by 2, it is actually 2, and there is a remaining value which is 1. Okay. 2 multiplied by 2, it is 4. The result is 5, so there is a remaining 1 value. Let's see another problem. 15 remainder 11. What is the result? 4. 4. Okay. The remaining is 4. Okay. And 5 exponent 2. Then it is 25 because 5 multiplied by 5. So what is the result? Maybe the Korean word is namoji. Sasip-o namoji yuk. 3. Okay. 2 remainder 2. 0. 8 remainder 20. 8. Okay. 11 remainder 0. Okay, so if you are not sure, you can check. Then there will be errors. Okay, no solution for this one. Okay, so you can see here the error is in the line 6. Okay, line 6. Any numbers divided by 0, it is not possible. Okay, that will be errors. So why do we need to do with the remainder? So the remainder operator, we can get the last digit, obtain the last digit of number. So for example, I have 230,857. So I want to get the last digit. Okay, I can just remainder 10. I want to get the 4 last digit. So I can have this number and then remainder 10,000. So I will get this number. Or I want to know whether a number is odd or even. Holsu, chaksu. So I can make a function. If 7 remainder 2 is 1, then okay, it is an odd number. 42 remainder 2 is 0, then it is even number. Okay. Okay, due to the time, I think I will stop here and then I will continue on next week. Any questions?